Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. How's it going out there? We are now live on our weekly live show. You know, I'm at an Airbnb right now, and unfortunately, we had some Google Fiber internet issues. So while I usually go live on Tuesdays, we are going live here on a Wednesday. And that's okay, because I got some great stuff to talk to you about today, and we have a lot to go over. And I have a lot of questions to answer here. You have questions, I'm here to answer them. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over some material. You can ask questions if you want in the chat. I might not be getting to them right away, but I will eventually be getting to them, and we'll be answering them, and we'll get you the help that you need. Does that sound good? I want to announce something real quick that's really important that you need to know, because over here at TripAdvice, I've been doing this now this is just a couple weeks, over 12 years of teaching men. And well, I've been teaching men for the past 12 years, and my reach has helped, at this point, hundreds of millions of guys through YouTube, my podcast, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. You know, I'm doing this because I want to change as many guys' lives as possible. And what I've created in the past 12 years, and even more recently in the past couple years, is what I believe is the number one coaching company in the entire industry. I've handpicked coaches that work here at TripAdvice, and I have trained them, even though they didn't need much because they were already pretty amazing. But I've trained them to get guys the best results in their dating lives. So right now we're getting guys results. We're getting them dates. We're getting them girlfriends. We're getting them laid. We're getting them to lose their virginity. Guys are beaming with confidence to the point where they're actually getting raises at work. It's crazy. They're getting raises at work and doing better in their jobs. They're making friends. It's been wild. Now, we've been only able to coach a smaller percentage of men over the years. That's because not every single person is able to join due to the investment. Okay? So not everyone is able to join due to the investment that it takes to join a coaching program like this and get one-on-one coaching. So unless you were a pretty successful dude and you have a good career and you're able to invest in coaching, you know, it was hard to work with us for a while. So I've come up with a solution. There is a point here. I've come up with a solution, and I'm so excited. I'm finally going to announce this, and I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit. So I wanted to find a solution to help as many guys as possible and not kill the quality. Okay, so not kill the quality of the coaching that we have. So there was times where I experimented with lower investment options. I've done group coaching programs and masterminds. It's just not the same. It's not the same as doing coaching where you get a one-on-one coach. So finally, my team and I, we sat down and we brainstormed ideas. How do we make this work? How do we get guys the same results and deliver the same one-on-one experience at a much more affordable investment? So we figured it out. Bottom line is, so if you ever wanted to be coached by our team, but the investment seemed too much, we now have something for you. So we now have a solution for you. So what I want you to do is, if you're interested in getting coaching, you can go to tripadvicecoaching.com. You can apply, which just means you're going to fill out a short application, and then you can get on a call with a member of our team, and we can get on the phone with you ASAP and fill you in on the details for how we're making it possible for all the guys that we can help. So, does that sound good? Are we ready to get into some material? What's up, Hassan? How you doing? Let's get into some stuff. Meanwhile, if you need help, you know where to go. TripAdviceCoaching.com. Okay? All right, let's chat about how to tell a girl you like her. Now, this is a question that it's funny. It's asked. So guys do ask this question, but they also don't ask it enough. And I say that because what ends up happening is guys will end up just finding their own way to tell a girl that they're interested in them. And usually that way turns a girl off. Now, I know it's interesting. It seems like, God, are we trying to unlock a code here? Why does it feel like I'm trying to open up a safe when it comes to building attraction with the woman? Do this, don't do that. Do this, don't do that. Can it be simple? Here's the thing, is that for men, it is simple. We're simple beings because we're more logical. Women are more emotional. Men are more logical. So what that means is that we are thinking things in a way that's kind of if this, then that, very simple, A, B, C, D. And women, because their emotions get in the way, it complicates things a little bit. So at times it feels like it can be a little sensitive. But let me tell you, as much as the hours I've spent teaching men about attraction, it is simple. It's simpler than you think, okay? Now, I don't want you to get too overwhelmed here with the process of attraction, but I just want to simplify this in a way so you understand. With women, you basically want to make sure that you're not being needy, and at the same time, you are spiking their emotions and getting them to chase you. Okay? So that's the whole goal, is we're getting them to chase. We're not being needy, and we're spiking emotions. If there's anything you're going to take away from today, that's what I want you to take away. Okay? So again, we're going to go over this all right now. Just for the people who have just joined us live, I'm going to remind you all that we now have a more affordable option for coaching. So for those of you who have been nervous about the investment to join, we have a new option that we're really excited to talk about. And in order to learn about that, you can hop on a free call with us at tripadvicecoaching.com. Go there, fill out an application, and then we can chat with you about this new solution that we came up with to get help from more guys and not kill the quality of coaching and still be able to get your own one-on-one coach. Okay? All right. So let's go into it, and I'll answer your questions in just a bit. Now, the answer to the question, how to tell a girl you like her, you never want to tell a girl you like her. We are never going to tell a girl that we like her. That's the bottom line. We don't tell. You know what we do? We show. Okay? We show. We're going to show a woman we like her, and we're not going to use our words. And this is really hard. This is really hard for a lot of guys. It's very difficult. In fact, it was difficult for me for a long time. For the first 3, 4, 5, 6 months that you're dating a girl, she's going to know you like her. She's going to be chasing you to death to get you to tell her, but you're not going to tell her. You're just going to show her. And when you show her, she's going to know. So how do you show her? Very, very simple. You're asking her out on dates. You're asking her out. You are moving the physical escalation portion forward. So that means that you are going for a kiss. That means that you are making the move towards sex. Doing that, that tells a girl everything that she needs to know. That's it. Okay. Why do we do this? Because if we start to tell her, well, it's a slippery slope. How many times do you tell a girl that you like her? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that because it should be 0. But how do we, well, okay, if we want to try to do it, do we do it once a week or twice or, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the threshold is going to be for her to hear from you, I like you, and then be turned off. Now, listen, I know that sounds crazy. Like, what? You tell a girl you like her and she's going to be turned off? I mean, no, not when you do it like once or twice or whatever, but why don't we just play the game the way it's meant to be played? Why don't we get her to chase? Because that's what she really wants. That's the secret here. And a woman won't tell you this. This is why we don't get advice from women on dating, because they're going to tell you, oh, tell her that you like her. No. You want her to chase you. She likes the chase. And so we balance this out by not telling her verbally that we like her, but we tell her by the actions. And then she'll know. And as much as she's craving it and wanting it, we're not going to do that. Okay? We're not going to do that. What's up, Tony? Good to have you, man. So we're not going to do that. We're going to show with our actions. Think about this. Mystery, if you guys, I don't know if you know this. This is old school stuff. And every year it gets more old school. There's a guy named Mystery from the Mystery Method. He's an old pickup artist. And he compared attraction and building attraction with a woman similar to the relationship with a cat. And it was one of the best analogies. So I'll tell you what it is now. If you've ever played with a cat before, and if you haven't, I'll explain how it goes. They like the game. They like the chase. Okay, it's not like a dog where you can just pick the dog up and rub it and it loves the attention. Women are not dogs, they are cats. So what happens when you pick up a cat, usually it squirms and da-da-da-da. You want it to come to you. That's the way it wants to be played with. So it's like cat and mouse theory when you put the string and give the string to the cat. Cat's bored. It doesn't want the string. It wants the chase to get the string. That's the key here. So that's what a cat wants. And that's what women want. It's the same idea. They want to play that game. They like that chase. Why, you ask? Why are women like this? Back to what I said earlier. It's not logical for women. Women like the spike of emotions. Women like the spike of the emotions. And where do those spikes of emotions come in the most? When you're playing the game, when we make her chase you, when we don't show too much interest. That's the key. When we don't show too much interest. So that perfect balance is moving forward, asking her out, and we're going to go into texting, by the way, in a bit, because this is going to be the next part of the rules of texting. So there is this game that we play where we only show a certain amount of attention to then get her to chase. I'll look at some questions here. How should I ask her out if I only meet her at work? Guys, stop meeting women at work. Don't do it. Bad idea. If you ask her out at work and she says no, you're in trouble. Sexual harassment issues. You have a woman who you asked out, she rejected you. Now you got to see her every day, work with her. What a disaster. Scarce mentality, dudes. We're not meeting women at work. Same thing with yoga classes. No. Yoga class is fine. You can be more lenient. It's a class. It's not work. It's fine. So let's move into talking about texting. So rules of texting, because I understand that today in 2023 we're texting. By God, I text all the time. We're all texting our friends, our family. We have 30 group chats because we have to leave one friend out because we're talking to like these two friends, and with these two friends you talk about this topic. So texting is insane. I get it. Now, with all the texting that's going on and as normalized as it is, we need to play by the rules with texting women. So, with women, when we're texting, it's got to be minimal because two reasons. One, if we're doing minimal texting, then we allow her to chase. We allow her to think, man, what's he up to? What's going on? And I know what a lot of guys think at this point, because when I tell them about the fact that, well, if I don't text her, she's going to forget about me. If I don't text her, she'll be texting some other dude. So I don't understand. What am I supposed to do here? Well, here's the secret. If you always have a date set up, so if you always have the date lined up, and you can do this via text, then that's going to show her and tell her that you like her. So that's all you got to do. You got to have that date lined up with the woman. And you can see her 1 to 2 times per week. And we don't text her to get to know her. We don't text her to spark fun conversation. That's not what we're doing. Because we want her to chase. And the second reason, there's room for error. There's room for error. Because if you say something that gets misconstrued, well, then what? She reads it wrong. She goes, oh, that was weird. Because think about that. We read text messages in our own voice. And I get it. We're texting a lot. I understand. I know that it's part of communication in 2023. I get it. But still, where's the line, right? It's the same thing as how many times do you tell a girl you like her? I don't know, because the answer should be 0. How much should you text a girl beyond asking her out? It's impossible to say. You don't know. You don't know when you're going to say something that's going to turn her off. Or, because it's not just the room for error problem, but it's also the problem of you telling her via text by, what are you up to? What's going on? What kind of music do you like? Bup. You're telling her that you have no life. You're telling her that you have nothing else going on and you want to text her all day. Now, what do you do? What are you supposed to do when she starts texting you? Because this happens, right? They text you. They ask you, how's your day? What's going on? They start chit-chatting with you. They start telling you about their day. Easy solution here. You ready for this? And this is so beautiful because if this happens, she's just going to chase you even more. And by the way, this is not theory. I've done this. I've coached clients on this time and time again, exactly what I'm lining up and telling you right now. And it works 100% of the time. Even when the girls give you a shit test, even when the girl goes, you don't really text a lot, or you don't seem very responsive. If a girl ever says that, do you realize she is putty in your hands? If a girl ever says that, what does that mean? Think about that. Why would she be saying that? Because it bothers her. It's bothering her. Good. This is amazing. Good. We want her to be bothered by that. Because that means she's starting to chase. The second she starts giving you shit because you're not giving her attention, this is because you've been doing it correctly and she's chasing you. It's very counterintuitive because, if you don't know anything about dating or social dynamics, you might hear that from a woman, and then what happens? Well, you hear that and you go, oh man, I don't want to lose her. I gotta text her more. I gotta talk to her. I gotta make sure I don't screw this up. Cat and mouse theory. The chase, right? So it's like you start texting her all the time and telling her you like her and give her all this attention. She gets what she thinks she wants, but really she wants the chase. So we're going to text her to meet up with her. Now, I remember I was going to say a second ago, well, what happens if she starts texting you? What are you going to do? Here's what you do. You text back several hours later and you respond with minimal response to whatever she's talking about. You know, don't like say the word no or yes, because if you're cold, then we start getting into territory where she literally thinks you don't like her. And then she can start to actually lose attraction. So we just give her the bare minimum, right? So she's like, how's your day today? You text her back 5 hours later and say, oh man, it's been a great day, just super slammed. And then part of this is we don't ask her any questions. She can ask us all the questions she wants over text. That's fine. But we are not going to text her back and say, oh, how was your day? Why? Because we're not getting into a whole text message game. Okay? We're not doing that. Room for error, too needy. So remember, I said this earlier on the live, is that we got to think about not being needy, spiking emotions. Not being needy, spiking emotions. Okay? Let's talk now about interacting on social media. Now, social media, I get it. It's another big part of 2023, and it's not going anywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on Snapchat, if that's even still big anymore. TikTok, although you don't really communicate much on TikTok. It's really like Instagram, right? Facebook, a little bit. So those are probably the main ways you might communicate over social media. Do not do it. Do not be DMing her. Do not be sending her memes. Do not be sending her stuff. You know, if you guys have been dating for a couple months and you send her the odd article or meme or something that is very specific to something you guys talked about, it's like a reference, okay, it's not a big deal. If you're just sending her memes because it's like funny, nope, same idea, needy. I would even go as far as not looking at her stories. I know that one's gonna kill you. I get it. It would kill me too, because you want to see the girl that you like, what she's up to. Do it. What happens? What ends up happening is they see it. They look. They literally go on their phone. They check who looked at my story. Who's watching my story? Women love it. So we're not going to do that either. We don't want to give them that attention because they know that they have you. Got to play the game. So social media is out. Do your absolute best not to be DMing her all the time, not to be Facebook messaging her all the time. Keep away from that, all minimal. And now I bet you if you're posting stories and you guys follow each other on Instagram, I bet she is looking at your stuff, and you can check, that's fine. Trip, what do you respond when she asks, why don't you text a lot? Very simple. Something along the lines of, I don't look at my phone much, I keep busy. And if that's not the truth, make it the truth. Which brings me very nicely, Percy, to the next point that I want to go over today. You got to stay busy. It's so important. You need friends, you need hobbies, you need work, projects, right? Like that's what you need to be doing. I recommend that you stay away from your phone. I recommend that you go on Amazon. I'm going to show you something cool. I just learned about this recently. Check this out, guys. Look at this. Get this, or any version of it. It's a lockbox. You put your phone in there, and then there's a timer. So that the only way you'll be able to get your phone, or if you look here, these treats, the only way that you're going to be able to do it is smash it open, which that would be insane, or the timer goes off. So that's a cool way to make sure that you're staying busy. Our phones are our biggest distractions. We are on our phones all the time, and we don't need that. Plus, if you're online dating or you are texting with a few girls, at least it keeps the phone away. So don't try to rely on willpower, because willpower is really tough. Stay busy, gentlemen. Please. Hobbies, friends, work, and projects. This is going to be the best opportunity for you, because it's going to create, first of all, what's important is we're doing this not for women. I understand that I'm talking about it in reference to women, but we need to be doing this because I want you to create a life that you really enjoy living. That way you will be more fulfilled. You will build self-esteem and confidence because you're doing things and keeping promises that you make to yourself, which builds self-esteem and confidence. And then a wonderful byproduct of that, just one of many, is the fact that you will be busy, and it would allow more women that you end up meeting to then chase you. So remember, we pursue, but we don't chase women. We want to get women to chase us. But of course, you are the man, you are the leader, you need to be leading the whole process. And because you're leading the whole process, that means that you're going to have to ask her out, pick the place. You're going to have to escalate, go for the kiss. So that's how you're leading the relationship. And then she follows. She literally follows and chases. How do we listen to you if we aren't on our phones? Well, you can be on your phone eventually. You're not going to be off of your phone 24 hours a day. But you want to be, and also, if you want to lock your, actually, here's the real trick. You want to know the answer to that question? Here's what you do. You got to get 2 phones. So you get 2 phones. One phone that has all your texting and the social media and the email and all the stuff that you normally have that's on your phone now. And then you have a separate phone that is just for, I don't know, calling Ubers, listening to podcasts, or watching. Well, be careful with that. If you put YouTube on there now, you can be scrolling and doing a bunch of shit. So really putting something on there, like podcasts and just like essential stuff that's not distraction. Think about the distraction apps. So you desperately need emergency, you need a phone, you'll use your second phone. Delete TikTok, minimize Instagram. That's right. Yeah, yep, turn off notifications. Exactly. Yeah, dating several girls at the same time is the best way to stay busy and not text one girl too often. Yeah, exactly. Let's date more women. That's a great way. So then when she's texting you, one of the girls is texting you, you're not responding because why? Because you're on a date. Yeah, I can't really respond right now to long messages. Maybe I'll try to get that in a bit. But let's stick to this topic here, okay? Any other thoughts you have on this topic? Any questions on it? Again, let's recap. We don't tell girls we like them. We show them, okay? We don't come off needy and giving them too much attention, just the bare minimum over texting to set up the date. Girls need to chase you. We spike emotions through the chase. Minimal with any sort of interaction on social media. And we stay busy by dating women, hobbies, projects, career, friends. That's what we're doing here. Cool. I feel that the more you chase a woman and give her attention, the more you push her away. Yes, unfortunately. And that even happens, Danny, in relationships too. In a different sense, but very similar. If you're in a relationship and you see them all the time, even if you live with them and you're married to the woman and you see them all the time and you're texting all the time, it doesn't allow for any sort of mystery anymore. The mystery dies. So desire happens and is created more easily when there's a little bit of distance and space. You know, the fact that right now, it's just like the way that technology in the world is going, it's making it harder and harder with dating. For many reasons. One reason is the fact that we work from home. So we work from home, and if your girlfriend who lives with you or your wife works from home, I'm not saying it's impossible, but now you have to work tremendously harder to create that distance. Got to see friends. Got to go to the gym. Got to have separate rooms and spaces to work out of if you can help it. So, yeah, it's getting a little bit harder, but we want to create that distance. Really, guys, the rules of attraction, I was just talking about this today. The rules of attraction are pretty much the same throughout the moment you meet a girl all the way till as far as you take it. So all the way into marriage. Nothing changes. You don't just get the girl and then you're good to go. You can coast for a little bit, but then it starts to plateau and then it starts to drop. Because if you're not working anymore on the polarity, meaning you're getting lazy or she's getting lazy and you guys aren't doing the things that you used to do to build attraction, it dies. This is why cheating happens. This is why divorces happen. It's just two people or one of the two got lazy in working at the things that initially got them attracted. It's fairly simple. How much is this dependent on the personality of the woman, or is it for 90% plus of women? It's for 95, 98, 99% of women. It's for just consider it for all. This is how it works. Mike, you asked that question quite a bit. And what do you do if you find it hard to attract the type of girl you're looking for? I don't know. Again, Mike, I know your issue. Your pool is too small. So if you're if you're gonna be that selective, and then your volume is gonna be really small, and that's gonna cause it to be really much harder. So it depends on what you want. Now, I'm not saying settle, but you do need to loosen up a little bit. How do you avoid the scarcity mindset when talking to a girl? Well, the best way to avoid scarcity mindset is to what? What's the opposite? Get into an abundant mindset. But you know what? As much as I talk about scarce mindset, I talk about abundant mindset, you know what the best thing to do is? It's to literally be in abundance. So work towards being in abundance. Okay. Once we do that, then there's no mindset needs to be had. We're just in it. You're welcome, Nuke. Thanks, man. All right, let's see if we can go back to that long question here. I'll help you out, Hafiz. But if I can't read it or understand it, I'm gonna dodge it, letting you know right now. 1 week, I met a girl in library. I asked her out on the first day. She said we could go out. Then second, third day, we meet again in the library. She was good to interact with, but she canceled the date. Okay. She was reluctant to come say hi. So after 2 weeks, she came to me and acted like I am busy in life, don't care. Yeah, it sounds like she's just not interested. Stop chasing. Guys, very important here. Stop chasing. Girls chase you. We don't chase women. For many reasons. I could probably do a whole series on this and a whole live on this, but I'll tell you this much. We don't chase women because we don't want to. See, here's the thing. Here's the deeper answer. We don't want to be with. This is where the abundance comes in. We don't want to be with women that we chase because those are not the women that really like us. I want to be with women that really want to be with me. Again, abundance. If you're doing things correctly, if you know how to meet and attract women online, in person, if you know how to do that, then eventually you will get lots of attention from women and you'll have multiple options. We want to be with the women who don't flake. We want to be with the women who really, really like us. We want to filter for high level of interest, for a woman that's showing interest. And I don't care. Then if she's a girl who she likes to play games, let me tell you right now, girls that like to play games with you have low interest. No one's probably ever said that before. Hear me out. I know I just said that women like the game playing, but It's when it happens on your end, not her end. If she's fucking with you and playing games with you and flaking and teasing you, she's not really interested. She doesn't see you as a high value man because she would not mess with a high value guy. She would be like, oh, I don't want to screw this up. Right? You put a high value man in front of her, one that she really respects and is really attracted to, she's not going to risk that. That's the key there. So the second you got a woman who's playing games with you, who's totally messing with you, nah, man, we out. We're not doing that. So in other words, Trip, don't chase women, chase success. Yeah, sure. I don't like the word chase at all. But yeah, success for sure. We work on ourselves. We become super powerful men, super attractive men. And then we become so high value that she has to notice us. I just watched Steve Martin, old time comedian, actor. For you youngins, you might not even know who that is. Steve Martin, he said, be so good they can't ignore you. God, what motivational advice that is. I love that. So that he was talking about in show business, because show business is really competitive. And people ask him all the time, what's the secret? What's the secret to show? Like, what's the secret to success in show business? And he said, be so good that they can't ignore you. I love that. You know what that does? That just forces you to be fucking awesome. That forces you to be the best version of yourself possible. And again, what happens? We build self-esteem. We have a fulfilled life. We build confidence. All right, so that's the top. And then byproduct of that, the byproduct is women. I attract too many women. They find out about each other, and I end up with nada. Sounds like a first world problem. Trip, during your timer beginner, how did you archive? I think you mean achieve the abundant mindset before having actual options. Yeah, it took a while. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of have to crawl through the mud a little bit in the beginning because you don't have all those options. So it becomes more of a task. If I were to talk to my old self, well, I don't know. My old self did it pretty well. I just kept on talking to women. I kept on putting myself out there. I kept on becoming a better version of myself. Any tips dating a woman that's high value because she is a CEO with a PhD? Interesting that you would want that. That's not always very attractive to men. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to make more than her. Women really enjoy is a funny word to say there. They usually are attracted to men who make more than them. And if they're not, then the guy has to have some pretty high ambition. But yeah, don't even think about that too much. Just go for it. Just see what happens. I'll just say that. Be the guy. Try not to ever ask the question. Don't ever ask the question or say, how do I attract this type of girl? How do I attract the girl who's like the hippie girl, the PhD girl, the shy girl, the alpha girl, the yogi, the this, that? Don't ask that. Because that's not the right question to ask. Just think about being the most attractive version of yourself and just simplify this. Focus on being the best version of yourself possible. Understand how attraction works. Learn the formula for attraction, which is TED, my acronym. Learn that and get into the mindset, guys, that women are all the same. Even if you don't think that's true, fuck. Even if it's not true, just believe it. That's going to help you a lot. Because let's be honest, most women are the same anyways. All ages from wherever. Maybe if we're looking at, maybe there's some minor cultural differences if you're going to some places, but they're minor. Read the book Evolution of Desire. They did a multicultural study and they found the same patterns across like 37 different cultures based on what women and what men are attracted to and how they choose their mate. And there's some slight differences in like a few cultures, but it's pretty much the same. Thanks for the super chat. You guys can hit super chat whenever you want. It will definitely guarantee an answer from me. I appreciate that. Since I turned 30, I seem to attract more women. I did a complete 360 in which I treat them differently, do my own things, me work and life hobbies. However, even my ex still looking to get back. Dude, that's it right there, man. Now that's a pretty good super chat. That's great. Yeah. That's another thing. Sometimes I tell guys, whatever you're doing, if it's not working, do the opposite. And I bet you'll start to see some results. Because most guys, what they're doing, is they are usually being too nice. They're being the nice guy. And they're catering to women. They're putting women on a pedestal, which shows this huge lack of self-disrespect. So if you start being the opposite of that guy, it will work. Now, you don't have to be a complete asshole, but I'm just saying, I'm just telling it like it is. Even assholes tend to attract more women. It's just the reality. David said, it's really simple. If the person likes us, they'll like us for what we are, regardless of what we say or do. Be yourself always, no matter what. If they like you, fine. And if they don't, F it. Yes and no, David. Yes and no. Because let's be real for a second. Is that a guy can be living in his parents' basement, working at McDonald's, and there's going to be a lot of women who are not attracted to that, but he's being himself. I'm not saying that that person's doesn't have any options, but he doesn't have many options. So it depends what you're going for here. So you don't necessarily want to, it's interesting advice. I've talked about this quite a bit over the years of the idea of, should you just be yourself and people giving that advice. Oh, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Yeah. Well, if that's not working, something's off. So you want to be the best you want to be yourself, but hopefully that self is the optimized version of yourself. Someone who can talk to a girl, someone who can understand how to build attraction with the girl and spike emotions and not be needy and do all the things that we talked about today on this live. Not telling her you like her or telling her you like her all the time. Not texting her all day. because it's not going to work, right? Like that stuff will hurt you more than help you. Yeah, what if an obese girl said the same thing, right? Yeah, exactly. Just not how attraction works. But David, appreciate your comment. You're halfway there. It's like halfway there. Another super chat. Thanks for the super chat. I've had like 4 women so far this year ghost, then text me a month later. What does this mean and how to prevent from more women to do this? Well, I have a question back to you. Not that it really matters, but I'd be curious is they ghost you and text you a month later. Are you meeting up with them? Or are we just saying that they're just ghosting you? The simple answer is that you're forgettable. You're forgettable. You're either forgettable or you're doing something to turn them off. Oh, we got a great question here. I love this. A lot of dating coaches advise men not to put women on pedestals, but they simultaneously advise men to pay for dates. Isn't paying for a woman on a date putting her on a pedestal? Okay, so it could be seen as that, but that's not why. I'm not going to speak for other coaches. I'll just speak for myself. The reason why I tell guys to pay for a date, it's not putting a woman on a pedestal. There's other actions which we'll go into in a minute that does that. But paying for a date, what you're doing there is you're showing the provider leadership quality that women are attracted to. It's like a woman showing her cleavage on a date or looking very feminine. A guy's going to be like, wow, that's attractive. Is she putting him on a pedestal by doing that? No. So it's kind of the same idea. It's like it helps with building attraction. So you want to do that. That's a good thing to do. It's going to be in your favor to do it. Also, it's just a good thing to do. Like I try to pick up the bill all the time. So why not just be a guy who can do that? And if you can't do that right now, you work towards that. I mean, I couldn't do that many, many years ago, but now I can. I love picking up the bill. It's great. I'm not talking with dating, for dating included, but also friends, if you can. The other day, Megan and I went out with one of her girlfriends. We went out to brunch. I just picked up the bill. I like to do that for people. And then for women on dates, it's that attractive quality. So put her on a pedestal is more about thinking that she is really special when she's not, and paying for the meal. Well, I know this could be confusing. Like that could seem like a way to do that. Like, oh, she's special, I want to pay for her. That's more normalized. But if you're thinking in your head, this girl's incredible, she's amazing, there's no one like her, she's so special, you're going to start doing a lot more than just paying for the date. You're going to be very needy. You're going to be like doing all these favors for her, offering to do things for her, not getting anything in return. So, does your ego, self-esteem grow after facing rejection? It could. It also could not. Depends how you look at it. That's where the stoic mindset comes from. That's the strength of your mind. You could easily be like, I just got rejected. I'm a piece of shit. I suck. Or you could say, all right, what did I learn here? What can I do better next time? And be grateful for the fact that you put yourself out there. Better to be rejected than to not talk to any women. Putting her on a pedestal and simping the same? Yeah. I wouldn't say paying for a date is simping. Two and a half years of sobriety, inner work, diet, and exercise has led to no results. I still am attracting people who use drugs, alcohol, and are overweight. Does the advice be what you want to attract work? I guess. That seems a little woo-woo for me. I don't really like that woo-woo stuff. So, yeah, in a sense. But also there's factors involved. There's a lot of factors involved. Depends on how many dates you're going on, how much effort you're putting into your online dating, meeting women in person, being social, how much volume you're getting through all those activities. And also where you live. Like, let's be real for a second. If you live in a smaller town or a town that's generally not is known for its poor dating, I don't know, Mike, if that's for you. I mean, you're in Denver. It seems to be probably fine there, but yeah, there's some places that are just not really good for dating. And so that means you're going to have to get more volume. There's no real secret to it. Thanks, guys, for the super chats. Appreciate it. You saw a girl on Hinge. She was in one of your classes. Should I swipe right or not because I didn't speak to her in person? You can swipe right. That's fine. You can, and let her know. Say, hey, we're in the same class. Or you can even mess with her. You can say, I bet you take Chem 101, don't you? How did you know that? Just a hunch. Are cargo pants coming back in style? I'm glad you asked that question, Tony, because next week we have something very special. You guys are going to want to come back next week. Tuesday at, let's see, what time? 6 p.m. Central. So next Tuesday, April 11th, which is my birthday, we will have a very special guest. She is a stylist, and she is going to tell you exactly what's good fashion right now and what's good style. And she's also going to teach you how to find the right clothes for you that make you look super attractive. That is next week. She is a stylist. She really specializes in working with men. So you want your fashion tips? Come next week, my friends. It's going to be awesome. 6 p.m. Central next Tuesday. And then we'll get you that answer, Tony K. We'll get you that answer for cargo pants. Good question. Alex is asking a lot of good questions here. I like this. You don't understand why most women would be attracted to the provider aspect of a man, given that most women earn their own money nowadays. To me, this is very contradictory. Just because they're earning more money, it doesn't take away from the primal reasons that makes a woman attracted to a man. And in fact, to go more along with that, women are usually dating up. So that woman who makes, let's say, if a woman makes $200,000, for example, she's probably going to want a man who makes more than her, with exceptions, but she will want that. So women are always kind of looking for the provider, even though they might not want a guy to necessarily provide. It's what makes him the most attractive. Tony, women, they can be a labyrinth, but if you're learning from TripAdvice, it's not going to be as confusing. When do we know you're alive? That's a deep question. Yes, Chestney, well said. It's not rational. Correct. Attraction generally isn't rational, especially for women. Especially for women. Remember, gentlemen, women are more emotional, men are more logical. That's how it goes. Great questions today, guys. You guys are rocking it. Remember, for those of you who just joined, we have one-on-one coaches on staff to help you. And we just released a new option to help guys who might not be able to invest in a higher end coaching program. And the great news is you're still going to be able to join with a lower investment and still get the exact same benefits of the coaching program, which are getting your one-on-one coach, where you do weekly calls with them, you get unlimited texting with them, they teach you my TED formula, and they tell you exactly custom to you what you need to be doing to be able to attract more women online and in person. So if you want to hop on a call with my team to learn more about how we can help you, even for you guys who are a little bit nervous, like, oh, is this going to be a lot? TripAdviceCoaching.com. Go there, fill out an application. We can chat with you. We can discuss options. We can help you. Don't do this on your own. Cool. That's great. Yeah, that happens, David. David said, Trip, this is what I'm talking about. My girl makes more than me. We don't have any issues, really. Fantastic. Good. So I'm not saying that it's not possible, but generally speaking, women like to date up. And if it's working for you, it's working for you. But I bet, David, and by the way, guys, this also brings up a really good point, is that if you're a guy who maybe you're not the best looking, maybe you're not making a lot of money, maybe you're bald, maybe you're on the shorter end, if you learn how to build attraction with women through your behavior and personality, which is a lot of what TripAdvice teaches, you can have women who are out of your league. You can be dating a woman who makes more than you because, David, she sees something in you and you're doing something else where she's not thinking about that, where she's not thinking about the fact that you make less than her. Is dating more difficult today or 20 years ago? You know, I'll be honest, it's hard to say because I wasn't dating 20 years ago. So I don't know if I have the right to say that. Intuitively, I think, yes, it is, right? My answer would be, oh, yeah, it is. I don't know. I think we always had, it depends. I think there was always challenges. I think that there might have been some challenges where 20 years ago, maybe it was like, oh, maybe dating is harder now than it was even 20 years ago. And it keeps on getting harder. It's all relative. But yeah, I guess in a nutshell, to answer your question, I do think it is more difficult because of the rise of technology and online dating and what it's done. It's making it harder for I think we cut out there for a second. All right, guys. Was this helpful? This was helpful today. Put in the chat, it helped. Let's see some of those. And then next week, we can get really excited because we're going to learn about fashion. I highly recommend you come to this because our speaker is going to have a whole presentation for you. One of the things that she's going to do is I filled out an assessment. So this is what she does with clients is You fill out a little Google form where you talk about what kind of style you like, and then she picks outfits for you. So she's going to show that on the live. She's going to show the outfits that she picks or would pick for me, but then we're also going to go deeper. I have a ton of awesome questions that are going to help you guys out so we know how do we dress to look the best. How long to ask a woman out after her divorce? Ooh. Well, I'm curious why you would ask that. That raises suspicion with me. It's like, whoa, how is she around? Are you waiting? Are you planning? Are you strategizing? We don't strategize. Don't strategize for one woman. That's what happens when you put women on a pedestal. Okay. I feel like I'm going with me. He always gives me an excuse to put up a storm boundary. I'm not sure I can understand that. And please, guys, do me a favor. Don't demand I answer your question. That is very rude to demand such a thing. Not good social skills. I like it. Great chat, guys. Good hanging out with you. Come next Tuesday. If you come next Tuesday, you're going to learn a lot. 6 p.m. Okay? Does that sound good? Click that like button. Yes, keep them up. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Doing lives every week. Next Tuesday, 6 p.m. You're welcome, Brendan. You're welcome, Tony. Nike them. You're welcome. Have a good day. Later, Grant. Thanks for you guys for the super chats. Really appreciate it. And thanks for asking questions, being part of the group. Y'all rock. Till next time, see you Tuesday, 6 p.m., April 11th. Birthday celebration for Trip over here. Don't forget, if you need help, a few options for you. Coaching. Right here. Get a one-on-one coach dedicated to you to work with you to make sure that you get results in your dating life. And our guarantee, listen to this guarantee real quick. We will help you. Let me start over. If you don't get the results you're looking for, we will help you until we do. Until you do. So that is our guarantee. We will help you until you get the results you're looking for. You can't lose. TripAdviceCoaching.com. If you want to get my course teaching you how to build attraction with women, you do get that included if you end up joining coaching, but you can get the program at GetHerHooked.com. You can get that course. You can also go on Amazon and get Magnetic. This is on Amazon. Paperback, Kindle, as well as audio. Thanks, guys. Yes, it will be recorded. So if you do miss it, it will be recorded, but I'd rather have you there live. But, William, if you got a date, it's a good excuse to miss it. See you guys later.